Hi, and a very warm welcome. I'm Greg Parry. I'm a well-being specialist. And one of the subjects that people find absolutely fascinating is the great question of dreams. As a species, we've got a huge, long history of studying and analysing dreams, but I find this absolutely fascinating, and let me explain why. The way that you see the world, the way that you interpret everything that's going on, is based on an extremely limited interpretation of what's really going on. I mean, the conscious mind can only handle about 6 or 7 subjects at any one time. That includes very simple, trivial issues as well as very important ones. But we are surrounded by an unimaginably vast amount of data, information that's flowing past us and around us all the time. The extraordinary thing is that our subconscious minds are fully aware of this huge amount of data and are recording, checking, and analysing that data all the time. So, the conscious mind is blissfully unaware of what's going on, and the unconscious seems to know pretty much everything. We've got a filter in the back of the head. It's called the reticular activator system that just removes almost everything in terms of data that's going on around us. And in fact, that filter is largely conditioned by our emotional framework. Maybe we'll talk about that on another occasion. But if you really want to get an insight into any kind of situation, any kind of a problem, any challenge that you're facing, one of the best resources, which is largely ignored, is your very own subconscious. It's like having a supercomputer just at the tip of your fingers, a way for you to benefit from its fantastic ability to gather data and analyze extraordinary volumes of information and give you the conclusion that is relevant to you. And that's why one of the interesting ways for the subconscious to communicate is via dreams. Now, you probably know your unconscious and the conscious mind don't really share a common language, so the unconscious has to communicate via symbolism. Now, I take the view that the symbolism we encounter in dreams tends to be very personal. And the cool thing is that when you get an answer from your subconscious, it's going to be very personal, very subjective and directed at you. But I've noticed that we don't get an answer which causes harm, either to us as individuals or to anybody else. That's a very reassuring facet of the way our unconscious seems to be connected with pretty much everything. So, if you have a particular issue that you would like to resolve, if you're looking for a very clear, simple, direct answer to any problem or challenge, use your dreams as a mechanism for unlocking the secrets of this vast treasure house of information. Before you go to sleep, you could ask yourself, gosh, you could even tell yourself that you're going to receive the answer to a particular question. And remember that if you can frame your question in very simple terms, that will help the unconscious to give you a very simple, direct answer. Some people use a really neat little trick. It's how I learned to remember my dreams. I would have a glass of water by the bed, and I would take the sip with the idea, I'm going to remember the answer to the particular issue. And when I'd wake up in the morning, bleary-eyed, and I'd take a sip of the water, that was the trigger for me to remember the part of the dream that was absolutely relevant to my particular question. Most times you get an incredibly simple, clear, unambiguous answer. It's usually in the form of symbolism. You think, oh my goodness, that's very, very helpful. Sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes it's just extraordinary. You think, wow, but that's your subconscious. It really does understand what's going on. But when you look at the symbolism, you may discover that there is a layer, or perhaps even layers of subtlety that will take your breath away. Think, oh, this is more than just a simple binary response, yes, no, black, white. This is, oh wow, this is so relevant for my life and what I know and what I feel and understand. So this is a resource which I would very strongly recommend that you get used to engaging. It's always there. It's not particularly popular in our culture, but once you begin to engage the power of your dreams by instructing yourself to dream about a particular issue and have the answer, this incredible resource is going to enhance the quality of your life. And it applies to everything. It applies as much to work, to any kind of professional issues you're facing, as it does to your private life. It doesn't discriminate. It's about every aspect of your existence. And it doesn't judge. It just gives you the best way forwards, the way for you to get from where you are now to where you want to be, to fix, resolve, understand all kinds of issues. Now, I hope you found that useful. It's been a very powerful asset in my life and the lives of people I've worked with. So I'd encourage you to think carefully about asking questions that you, and perhaps only you, can really answer through the mechanism of your dreams. If you've got any observations, any comments or questions you'd like to address to me, my email address is in the description. I'll be back for you again tomorrow, and in the meantime, I'd like to wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful night's sleep with great dreams.